All right, welcome back to DreamHack Open 2014. It's game number 2. If you're just joining us on the cast, the score's displayed, of course, up here at the top of the screen, but it is 1-0 for the player in the top right. Give it up for the red Zerg player, Life.
The bottom right has the blue Protoss, Steely Flash Wolf Sun.
All right, so this is a map. Spawn locations, and certainly you can get away with a 3-hatch early build again if you want to, but I don't know, it's weird. Like, this is the map we've been seeing a lot of cheese come down on. Like, I think it was the last DreamHack, but we saw Jadon do like an 8 pool on this one versus some Protoss. I don't know, but this is, I don't know, Life, if he wants to be aggressive, we'll see it. If he wants to play the standard game versus San, we'll see it. I mean, I really don't think for San that last game, it got scary at points, but I don't think I was ever sitting there going like, oh, Life's life, like it's on the line, he's so screwed. Like, just from the start to finish of that game, it felt like he had control of that game.
I was wondering if Life was going to go for like a 14-14, but or 13-13, whichever one, but he did not. Still could go for the 3-hatch. He seems to have San's number, really. That game was close, probably maybe closer than it might have looked when the actual engagements went down, but it was very close. And yeah, Life, I think he's going to go for the 3-hatch.
I think he's going to get Queens out. That's all that really matters, am I right?
It's
Queen's proven to be pretty good today.
Yeah, it seems to be like just he knows what to do. If San goes for a 4-gate again, Life is going to go for Queens, and then he's going to be okay. Life goes up to 17 drones like before he even throws down anything. Spawning pool, hatchery, really greedy. 18? Wait a minute.
By the way, just to throw this out there, yeah, you can go for that 3-hatch. The reason we're making jokes about Queen so heavily here, guys, is not so much because of this series, but of course the last one leading into it. If you missed Life versus Lenok, even in his EVZ, there's a ton of Queens to save his bacon. But you know, it's sad. You know, we talked about before. Like, Life comes into this, I think he's got a pretty good idea of what he's going up against. It doesn't mean, like, just because you know Immortal Century is coming, for an example, it doesn't mean you can automatically defend it. You just have to make a lot of the right actual moves, and it comes down to control, dodging those force fields and what have you. But it does help, you know, being a little bit predictable plays into your opponent's favor most of the time.
I can't believe how greedy Life was. 18 hatch, 18 pool. Like, oh my god, he would have nothing there if there was a cannon rush, but that's a risk he was certainly willing to take again. I think he was even greedier than the last game.
Yeah, I'll throw it out there. I haven't seen a whole lot of cannon rushes out of San, but he is like Stardust when he does do them, and he goes like full ham, like not one pylon, one cannon. Like, he just goes to like fully wall this off. Like, he gets down and dirty when it comes to it.
Now, what's funny is that this Zealot might get another drone just because the Lings are that late. Good micro should stop that from happening, but Militia Corps is also on the way, going to harass the potential natural. Oh, they did see the third was taken as a natural.
Oh, they actually,
oh,
I thought they were mineral walking to hide, but they actually go for the surround on the Zealot. They want to keep him here.
Wow, good micro. Gets 1 Ling killed. That's it.
But he changed it for a Zealot. Yeah, I mean, that was really nice there out of Life.
Oh, another 4-gate too. Like, Life is just going to like counter this.
Maybe. He's still droning at the moment.
I
mean,
he
there's no indication that this is coming, right?
But I think he just knows what San's gonna do. It's what happened at BlizzCon, wasn't it?
I guess he's got his number. We'll chalk it up to that for the time being. Spore Caller coming down, but the Mothership 4, like, while this is nice and distracting, this Overlord's not moved in. He's seen 1 gateway so far. He could easily spot all 4.
He's not
5. Ooh.
Consistently pumping out 2 queens at a time either. He is actually stopping right now, so maybe he doesn't. Maybe he is going to get surprised finally by this attack. His didn't see this the pylon either. He sees the 2 gateways now, so it was only 3, not 4.
Well, 5 couldn't be the total count, which is a little bit more than 4. It's like, okay, I don't really want to go all in, but I definitely want to more than dedicate to this attack. Like, 5 is just an odd number because usually Course Guides goes like 7 or 4 or 8. But anyways, 5 gates will definitely give him production here and capabilities to possibly knock down this third. I think what the biggest strength is, he's not revealed this yet. Like, yes, there's some links coming out, but because this was delayed for so long of actually moving out, like, he didn't rush to send those Zealots out. It bought him a lot of time to possibly just hope his opponent was going to keep droning. And that was kind of the case here for Life. So 14 Lings out. He's got to be careful. That force field on the ramp could really get him killed. Like, if San can get the momentum to move up there, force fielding off that ramp is going to cut out not 1 but 2 hatcheries.
Life knows it too. He's protecting it. He moves a Spine Crawler when he still has time. Throws in a Roach Warren as well, which he did hold off a long time last game. But I think he's really looking pretty good. A lot of Zealots can chop up a lot of Lings, but he did start producing more Queens. You know, I thought he wasn't prepared for this, but I think he was just calling the timing really well. Like, I don't need to make Queens until X minute, and then I'll be fine.
Yeah, that definitely does seem to be the case. The Overlord gets a nice scout off, by the way, behind this. He's okay. This is a little bit more than a 4-gate, but the problem is he doesn't know whether he goes higher than this, right? Anyways, those Zealots, as you said, they slice, they dice, living Julia fries. They just take out that army so quickly.
Dang,
I think
that was so important too. He was trying to snipe the Mothership Core.
Yeah, this is starting to snowball a little bit here, to say the least. Not a lot has actually died here for San to this attack, and he has quite easily thwarted the majority of Life's defenses. Now, he can't get that sick force field off on the ramp, but that's kind of okay for the time being. He's already in the middle line of his opponent. Zealots are being segmented off here specifically to focus on the hatchery. And the thing is, like, Roaches without speed, especially in a time warp, even the Zealots can deal with those.
Yeah. He will be able to start micro, but I think he's going to lose the third. You know, San might... Well, I think he's still going to get the third. Yeah, I was wondering if he should just target it down as opposed to trying to go into the natural.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to quite snowball off this to auto-win, but this does hurt Life quite a bit.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, San is dedicated a lot to this. Like, this wasn't a small investment out of him. He's losing a lot of resources as well, but definitely hurts Life more than it hurts San.
Yeah. I mean, it might not seem like such a big deal that those 3 Queens died, as well as the Spine Core died really fast as well. But it was like those Queens buy so much time. They don't really want to. You don't want to risk losing the Mothership Core. It's kind of like, and of course, if they don't get caught by the force fields, then the force fields work against the Zealots as well. That's like could have been very helpful. But San just they're just perfect. There's some luck involved as well. But now I have to like reevaluate where Life is.
He did lose his whole army for that, which does kind of suck. If he had managed to recall some units out alive, that would have been really nice. Specifically sentries, of course, but at the end it was mostly Zealot, so I can kind of understand his risk of, like, you know, energy versus Zealot. Does he want to save him and all? But the Immortal follow-up to this can be quite scary. I mean, he's already seen this opponent with Roaches.
It's coming. I guess it's not late in this game. 11 minutes looks late, but of course Life, I don't think he's up to a lair yet. So while he had, again, the perfect timings last game, like the Hydra's barely in time, even though the third did still die, whatever. He had the Corruptors just barely in time. This game, not so much. He's going to have to rely on Speedlings and Roaches and maybe Queens, because he has been, you know, he used it for the 4-gate, the 5-gate, maybe he'll use it against the Immortal Sentry as well.
Ling's trying to make sure that this third doesn't go up. It did take a couple of warpers here for San to actually get enough units to fight this. He's sticking close to the ramp because he doesn't know if Life is sitting behind this with like 80 Lings hoping to swarm, you know, catch those sentries off guard type thing. But recognizing, okay, maybe there's not that much here, he's going to be able to more comfortably take this third if he actually wants to take it.
Yeah, I don't think so. And I think Life with those 2 Immortals did just confirm that he has to prepare for an attack. He started to get a few Spine Crawlers, throws down 2 more, 3, 4, 5 more. As he knows this is definitely coming, but I don't think those are going to finish.
No, it's not.
Well, Sans has to wait for the pylon, I think. So it might be.
Maybe if this was cross spawns, but still, this is like right in his face already. So with the Roaches out, I would definitely like to see Life if he could try and segment a couple off to the side up here, just to prepare to come down from behind, maybe, because I mean he's going to get force fielded off. It's going to be nasty.
Yeah. Roach speed not done, so we won't have that quite that maneuverability, but of course with the force field slicing and dicing, you rarely ever get that opportunity. Oh, San gonna try and go over the behind? That's a risky move, especially if Life sees it. He does, he moves his Spine Crawlers.
Spines take a long time to reburrow though. Yeah, the only advantage Spine Crawlers really have, I mean, all things considered, like the stalkers, pathfinding. Yeah, pathing in this game really working against him here. That's gonna cost him a couple of sentries.
Might make up for it with these force fields.
Maybe not. I don't know. It's he doesn't have a lot of oomph with this army. Like, this is not an army that was meant to you know, splinter off sections of roaches at a time and bleed it down. He wasn't expecting a flat wall of spine crawlers, and that's the problem with the spine crawlers. Like, okay, they're not going to wreck this army. In fact, the immortals will probably wreck the spine crawlers, but you can't force field them off. You can't choke out spine crawlers.
Like, Son, he's got to be really brave when he moves like this, you know? He's got to either go now before the spines are finished, or just, you know, keep waiting and giving life too much time, and he does decide to go for it, but the spine crawlers do finish. The Vizels, they die really quickly, but only 5 spine crawlers left. Not all of them are attacking at once either.
That force field on that ramp, though, I mean, those rocks should have been taken out forever ago. Realizing this now, this is really going to hurt life, but I kind of feel like if he can break this ramp, he might still have a chance to fight this army. There's a lot of roaches, there's a lot of queens. There's
2 more force fields. Oh, only 1 is used, so maybe there was another force field. He could have been on top of the militia does go down. He can now be on top of the war prism.
Life. He's gonna crush this army. Takes out the stalkers, takes out the sentries. The queen's still got a lot of transfuses here, should they choose to use them, but what can San do but pick up 2 sentries and an immortal, try and minimize the losses from this attack? I mean, okay, the thing is, neither player is tech behind this. And San did do a good job of shutting down this third. Like, he might not have killed it, but he shut it down as far as effectiveness goes, but Life's got so many roaches. There's open field, away from a choke. I don't think San can take a fight.
No. And he's not preparing for, like, a follow-up all-in like last game either. That was the all-in, and the only thing he has behind it is, you know, defensive purposes. Sentries and force fields to hold on to 2 bases, not 3.
Well, I like that he took down the rocks before even moving in here.
Oh, don't like San's miss of a force field. That's still gonna work out fine. Did lose a couple of sentries that maybe he did not need to. Harassment's still going down to the other side of the map as well. Life losing, I think, a couple of drones, but then the Queen Armada comes in and scares the warpism away.
Well, the drone count has not exactly flourished, like, out of control, but he's backed up to 64, and that's a really nice spot to be in for 3 bases. I think the fact that San has no third, though, man, like, you know, it's kind of reminded me, like, when we watch players who know how Arthur plays, like how badly it gets shut down.
Yeah.
And I mean, you watch this, you're like, okay, this is one of those things, you cover the names up, this looks like this Protoss player just doesn't stand a chance. Like, who could he possibly be? He's no way he's as good as San, but Life, yeah, he played this out really nicely. Is it over? Not at all, but it's definitely looking way better for Life than San at this point.
With the Hydras coming out, you can almost say it is over.
Yeah. Still, though, good force fields and a bad engagement can go a long way. But there's
true.
No Stalkers here, no Colossus. I mean, a couple of Immortals. They hit hard versus Hydralisks still. Not, maybe not the bonus damage that they give versus Roaches, but big open areas. It's going to be so hard to actually get that force field and fight in.
Yeah. I feel like his best chance would be able to use the third hatch as a force field and just kill it. But even then, killing a hatch, I don't think will make up for the composition that Life is getting. Very delicate. Very delicate.
It has to be delicate, though, because no matter what he does, he's going to be fighting in range of the Hydralisk behind this, so can he take out enough on the front line to overpower the Hydralisk after, to be the question. I don't think he's got enough force fields to actually segment this off again, not to get this big line down, but those transfuses, how are these queens still standing?
They even took out an Immortal. All
yeah.
by themselves. Oh, the force fields are just barely enough to stop him from being completely overrun.
Yeah, he does bait it into slightly better positioning, but still, though, that's a lot of Hydralisk standing, and these sentries are pretty much out of juice. I think there's like 4 force fields left. As he gets on top of the army too, he does start coming off of creep, but perhaps for Life he's got to be careful with this. But Raps run for the south side with some roaches. I think he's just sandwiched San at this point a little too much. And yes, GG. Life will take the series 2-0. Nice.